It's actually kind of hilarious. Well, first of all, hello everybody, Tom is here. I'm here on the other side of the phone, obviously. Obviously. It's funny, I was just thinking, I saw this other guy just walk past me on the other side of the road. While behind me now, but anyway. He was also walking with his phone like this in his hand. Like everybody doing it. So normalized nowadays that you meet people on the street, everybody's just walking with with their phone in their hand. And I normally don't. I normally have my phone in my pocket, but almost always with this in my ear, you know, the earphones, because I listen to an extreme amount of music. I mean, I'm talking music every day. I live with music, that's what I do. It's pretty constant, especially now as I am making my own, but I'm always exploring and finding new kind of music that I like. I feel kind of, I don't know, like a little bit of pressure on my chest. No, not like a heart attack stuff, not like that. It's just, I think it's from actually my run yesterday. I did some push-ups also. So, yeah, I started that. I started my first run of the year, my first run for the season. Actually right here, but on the other side. And I went for over 5 kilometers, I believe it was. Let's have a look at me instead for a little while. I don't know, should I go there or should I go there? I don't know, I go. But yeah, so I stopped over 5 kilometers. It was refreshing, I can tell you that. It was quite refreshing. It was really nice to, and it was a beautiful day yesterday, but now it's kind of, I see some raindrops on my screen. And I'm not gonna walk around like this, I don't do that. This roof need to change. That roof here, so full of moss, or probably gonna be a bit loud here. We have the garbage man, trash man. Kind of nice job actually when you think about it. It's kind of chill job. Obviously very early in the morning. Maybe not necessarily more early than others. Well, in some places for sure, in the night and stuff. But just driving around, pick up the garbage and go home. It's a job that a lot of people, like in society, is like, oh, you're a trash man, how do you want to do that? But to be honest, it's a very job, or what should I say? It's a well-paid job, you know. Actually, I don't know as a fact, but that's what I've heard. That is not that bad actually. Well, as you can see, the weather is, I think maybe this kind of leads me on to why, if I'm feeling depressed, yeah, I don't know. Who am I to say that? I mean, there are so many people being clinically depressed and just being very, very miserable. For me, I am fine for most of the part. I am absolutely fine. I'm happy with what I have. I'm happy with what I'm doing, but yeah, well, I was gonna say I just want to get a job, and I did get a job. I do have one now, but we'll see how this is gonna be. I don't. Do I feel excited about that? I don't know. But I have to ask for a better pay, kinda right away. I think I have to ask for a better pay, kind of directly, because my research says it should be better pay as an entrance pay. You know, the entrance page or introduction pay, whatever you call it, should be higher than what I was offered. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna say that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's really, really expensive here. And yeah, I guess that makes sense, because there are some people, like majority of people, they are not better off now than before the pandemic. But many people are also, because if you just check, like right now, like almost any, like the stock market in general has increased. It's like we thought it would not be higher around after the pandemic was over, and then it crashed a little bit, but now it's higher anyway, higher than ever, you know. So some people has obviously made a lot from now. Probably my landlord being one of them. How he charged, if you think about it, it's. But I should not complain compared to some of my fellows, colleagues in university. He's paying like 1,600 in the other city where the university is, and that is a student city, and it's a very cultural place, and it's a very attractive place in many people's views. And I would like to live there myself, but there's no way I would just pay that kind of money for rent. Can you believe it? And he has a family also, so there must be definitely, like, for sure, like, yeah, I'm not gonna say any numbers, but it's, if you think just the rent, around 1600, I believe, roughly, dollars, euros, you know, roughly around there. I don't really know what the currency exchange is at the moment, euros and dollars, but what I understand is it a bit lower. But obviously the crown is yeah, it's not much better there. But I need to take an update look again about on these exchange currencies, because I do check it every now and then. I find it kind of interesting. Not interesting to the degree that it would be fun to work with numbers and stuff. But yeah, hopefully, speaking of numbers, hopefully the numbers will get a bit better eventually, and hopefully things is gonna turn around. But yeah, was something about what I was thinking about being depressed. I forgot it. Oh, look at these guys laying here. Normally they are down by the water. Yeah, but what did I think about? What were I thinking? Yeah, but we can talk a little bit large about people being depressed and stuff. I think it is just going to increase and increase and increase right now, more than ever probably, because how it is out in the society, how it's gonna be with the job market. I believe I talked about this the other day. Is going to increase so incredibly much that we can't even imagine. Is going to be people. I kind of had a bad dream about this or something, or maybe it was just a thought. I see people like in the near future kind of fighting over food in the grocery store for what's left, and super expensive stuff like that. I don't know, it was something about I was looking at some groceries or something, and there was this father there, and he just ripped it out of my hand or something like this, because he had this alpha mentality or whatever you want to call it. I don't even know if it's the right term to use, but he had this protection mindset that he's gonna have the last piece of meat for his family, and just looked me in the eye with kind of a smirk that he didn't give a fuck about me whatsoever, even if I had the piece actually, even if it was mine, even if I took it. He didn't care, because he was gonna do everything he could for his children and himself and his family. That was all that actually matters to him. And me, just a little person on my own. Well, he didn't know I was on my own, but I was there on my own. That's what I visualized, or I dreamt, or something. And its smirk on the face just said it all. He was like, just, sorry dude, you have no chance getting this piece of meat or whatever product it was. I don't know. Something like that. Yeah. I don't know, these apartments behind me here, if it's actually aged care, all of them, because I know there is aged care inside of here, like this area here. That's aged care, but I don't know about this place there. The houses, they are different, but it's a cozy area. I mean, it's a lovely area. I can't wait to see how it's gonna be here in the summer. Well, I do know how it looks here in the summer. I've been here obviously last year when I arrived here. But to live here can be kind of idyllic. Idyllic, I guess. These kind of small flowers are everywhere now. What the fuck, it was something I wanted to say about depression. I don't know. Probably just like every other person, more or less. I mean, it's a strange time. Just, yeah, maybe it was about this, that there's no point in like indulging yourself or being self-destructive or anything, because it's just gonna make you sink lower, you know. And yeah, I could say that. Yesterday after my run, there are a lot of drunks here, I think, in this little town. There was like this old man and an older woman kind of arguing, screaming to each other about whatever. and suddenly they disappeared. Yeah, they were there, they were arguing, and they came back and were still arguing and walked behind me. I was sitting on a bench on the square, the town square. And yeah, he had gotten himself some beers. I think he was carrying in his hand. I don't know. He just, to me, obviously there's a lot of issues, trauma, whatever. I don't care actually, but he seemed so much like a little boy that he kind of didn't get what he wanted. I don't know. Maybe he wanted money from her or whatever to buy beer. I don't know. But yeah, being depressed, and I talked about this before, loneliness, sometimes that can cause you in drinking. And I don't know if myself, I'm thinking myself, did I ever drink because directly, like as a result of loneliness? Okay, like this, I am lonely, so I'm going to drink. I mean, probably, but I couldn't actually say with certainty. It's nice here, you know. But yeah, anyway, I couldn't say with certainty, but probably indirectly as a result. If you've been depressed, and I think there's many factors to it, and then I think most of the time for sure, my perspective to having drinks is because it's enjoyable. Yeah, it tastes good with a beer, definitely. And then just like, you know, a relaxed state of mind, and you're enjoying for yourself, you're partying a little bit or whatever. But doing that as a means to cope with loneliness is not a good idea. But anyway, yeah, I think what's better to do if you are in a situation like that, do what makes you feel better. For example, start instead of choosing that route, and you know how you feel after, just worse, obviously. Just start making a habit that takes you away from that and actually make you feel better. For me, for example, running, even now just out walking, is a great way for me to kind of meditate. It's not really meditation, but it's a bit meditative to go running for me, because it's very cleansing. You cleanse your head, you clear your thoughts, and you improve everything in your health, well-being, mind, body, spirit, you know. It's just getting better. Just improve. And it's kind of silly I had to say that here, but because it's so well documented, or you know, already. But I thought I could say that because it fit what I was talking about. Like everybody being like, not everybody, but many people being depressed in this time and age in general, to some degree at least. That is just a fact, I think. But focus on what makes you happy, and yeah, but anyway, my most important thing now is setting up like stability in terms of work, you know. And I'm not gonna be able to find my dream job right away, like my fathers say. You're not gonna find the dream job right away. But now I have, let's see, for like the past 20, not 20, what am I saying? For the past 10 years, about something like that. Yeah, I've been kind of trying out different things. I moved around. I have had a great life in many, many ways in this way. But I kind of feel, am I speaking about want to settling down? I mean, in a way. But of course, there is this nerve pulling me to live in other places again. But can't do that also. I kind of want to have a nice place where I live with a like kind of security in terms of job and income, and build on yourself, and to be able to have that aspect of your life, and then you have that creative aspect in your life also, because I noticed that this is the reason why I have not been able to do what I'm doing now in terms of creativity, I mean, oh sure, I've been able to write songs and stuff, but with recording music and stuff like that, obviously that's been a difficulty moved around and not knowing where I was gonna stay and lived in temporary places, you know. Who can like manage to set up a studio then? What are you gonna do with this stuff? You ship them to another country, it costs money, you know. What I have now is what I wanted for so long time. What I have now, and I don't have it all, but I have a start, is what I wanted for many years. To actually be able to start this creative journey, you know. And my creative aspirations, or whatever you want to like to say, as you wish, you know. As I always say, as you wish. I had this place I can go to here, clear my thoughts, speak with you, just be in nature a little bit. But yeah, it is nature, but it's kind of much like nature, I guess. It's lakes, it's forest, but it's also very close to residential areas and houses and stuff, but that's fine. But I guess the summarization would be that, yeah, having more like a base, because these things go hand in hand. You cannot, of course I could just put everything in being focusing on my creative aspirations, but to be completely honest, how many artists, isn't it? Let's say artist as a general term, but I don't really like it, but let's use it in this case. How many, isn't it, that just, okay, I'm gonna start and I upload my art on social media and blah blah blah, but how do they actually making a living from it, you know? Very few do that. You need to be able to monetize your art, and you need to see this as a business. And then I guess the question is, would I want to do that? I don't think so, not at this point. There's so enormous amount of music being uploaded to Spotify or whatever each and every day. There's constant amount of art being uploaded on social media each and every day, and it's just the real owners and the real money makers of these platforms. It's not the artists, it's not the musicians, it's not the sculpturists or the painter or the writer. It's not them, it's the owners of the platforms, because people can consume free content. Think about it, you're a visual artist and you upload your work on some social media platform. It's free to consume there, and that's what these owners want. The longer you are on the platform, the more ad money is going to come in, and these platform owners makes a lot of money from ads. That's why it's so kind of sad, but it's just the way it is, it's just the way it goes. So how do they actually monetize? Yeah, it's a lot about building up a brand that people feel worthy paying for. And I kind of see that as a hand in hand with what I just said. Building up, like for myself here, for instance, like I'm doing now, building up a bit of a platform, a life, having a job to go to be able to build yourself financially, and also together build a family, basically, a life, you know. And when you have that, you can do your creative aspirations by the side, you know, 20% or 30%. Because obviously the work takes, you have a full-time work, it takes a lot of time. It's very energy consuming, and I was gonna say that I'm a bit worried for for that, but I am actually not. It's gonna be fine. If you know what you want, it's no problem. And I am not gonna work 100%. I wish I can do 50% next to my studies, and it's going to be tough. But that's the way it is, and I just gotta do it like everybody else. I am not like some person that is... And then the thing that is a long learning curve also. I mean, starting off as a producer, music producer and composer, you need to learn a lot of technical aspects with this also. So it's a long learning curve. Like, it's so naive of somebody to just say, okay, I'm gonna be a musician now. That's a long road, you know. That's a long, very long, hurtful route. And how many actually manage to sustain from it? Because you're sure you go on a tour and you make money. I don't know, probably not so good money in the beginning. But are you gonna do that for every day for a year? If you are fortunate to be in like a band that is well recognized and they can charge like, I don't know, let's say 10,000 per show, $10,000 per show, and you can have like, I don't know, some percentage of that, like a high percentage of that, you can make a lot, obviously. But let's not speculate too much about that. I'm just trying to put it in perspective. Where I am at, what I would like to do, what would make me happy in this one life, this one weird existence we have, you know. So we should be blissful, you know. Sure, depression is part of it, you know, but there's always these moments. I have had these times, I guess, in my whole life, you know, loneliness and being, I guess, depressed, but still like happy inside with what I have. I know if you keep moving on, it comes a time when this difficult time don't really matter anymore. But I think you can see back at these times as valuable, and what you learned and what you did, that you actually did something good. You actually did something healthy and positive and invested in yourself during this difficult time. And not just see this time as complete darkness of self-destruction and getting into a lot of bad stuff for yourself, for example. I think you can use the time of hard times and yeah, let's call it depression, for something greater. You know, you are actually putting in something into yourself, and you can look back at this as a chapter where you grew, where you made something, that you created something, or worked on yourself, basically. Now I'm going back to do some grocery shopping. Nothing big, I think, just gotta get some healthy stuff. Some fruits, probably some vegetables. And then go back to work. Study, work, both, and recording. Thanks for watching. See you next time.